What's going on? What's going on? This is the Broke Genius. This is Wednesday. So it is Wealth Wednesday. I was taking a long time. I was gonna do this early. Hold on. Got my two computers side to side. Okay, good. I'm doing good. So I was taking a long time. I was gonna do this a lot earlier, but I was looking for the statistics on Black inheritance, and I just wanna say that the statistics are bleak, very very bleak. I literally it took me about it wasn't that hard, but I had to literally like power read through a bunch of articles and stuff until like I just searched Black inheritance, and then I got a good article from the Atlantic. So in case you didn't know, what I'm going to be talking about today is wealth transfer. What I mean by wealth transfer is now not somebody transferring some wealth from your account to another, which it can happen. It happens every day, but that's not what I'm talking about. When I say wealth transfer, I'm talking about when inheritance, primarily when someone passes along, a family member passes along, or someone that is close or next to kin or something, friend or whatever, pass on, they leave an inheritance to you. That is what I mean by wealth transfer. And just in case you didn't know, we are in the midst of a wealth transfer right now, a big one in history. Okay, um, very, very big wealth transfer because you got people from the silent generation. Okay, you don't know what I'm talking about? Just Google silent generation, and then also baby boomers that are going to the upper room. So a lot of the people from the silent generation, like my dear aunt and my great grandmother, they already have been gone. I mean, they've been gone. Well, not my aunt, but my great aunt, but my great grandmother died when I was 16, I believe. Okay, but she did have some inheritance. She had real estate. She had some property. So and then she had some furniture that was pretty nice, that was like family heirlooms and stuff, that it's kind of like kind of priceless. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so some people are still alive that are from the silent generation, like people that like my grandmother, her she's from the silent generation. She's still holding on like battery acid, you know what I'm saying? Her actually her aunt is still alive. Okay, so yeah, but yeah, wealth, man, is, in my opinion, it is the least talked about and the most important topic that I can possibly talk about, or that I can even hear anything about, and nobody's talking about it. And that's why I talk about it. Okay. So today we're gonna break this down. We're gonna break this all the way down to science, and we're gonna break this down as far as what are the statistics of wealth. Okay. What are the wealth statistics? I can't help but mention, because I've been Chicago Bears fan before I even knew what Chicago Bears was. Um, we got a late passing of the great Gail Sayers. Okay, Gail Sayers. If you if you play football, you know the legends. You know about Gail Sayers. But in case you didn't know, Gail Sayers is like literally one of the greatest running backs in Chicago Bears history. He just passed, I believe, yesterday. So Yeah, he's I gotta talk about him for a little bit, because it's kind of relatable. But Gail, all-star running back, great guy. Um, he pretty much I'm gonna, pretty much I guess I'll play a highlight. I'll look for a highlight to show how good of a running back he actually was. But I'm gonna also I can't help but mention how good of a businessman he actually was. Gail was actually one of those guys that he was able to use his talents and his educational and his intelligence to make money outside of pro sports. So, basically he wasn't one of those guys that he after the cleats are hung up in the locker room, it's over. He just got to go back to being a bus boy at the local restaurant or bag groceries because he was partying, kicking it, and bullshitting after every game and in the off season, not saving no money. Gail's one that dude. Gail Sayers literally was in the Chicagoland area. He was a very proficient businessman. He actually made a lot more money, probably more money than he made playing football outside of football. Okay, so yeah, gotta say condolences to his family and his passing. So as I look, um, I played a little football when I was in the Navy. And I gotta play a video for the late great Gil Sayers. Okay, got to. It's just relatable. Okay,
Inches of daylight.
here you go.
That's all I need.
Once in a generation or a lifetime, the great runner arrives in pro football. He is one of the select few who can fill stadiums Sunday after Sunday and whose number is burned into the memory of every fan.
So it looks like I'm having some problems sharing because I don't see it on the playback on this screen. So let me see what the hell is going on. All right. So I guess okay. Here we go. All right. Uh, yeah. Okay. So there. All right. So let's see. Let's try this again. All right. There we go.
Give me 18 inches of daylight. That's all I need.
Once in a generation or a lifetime, the great runner arrives
I
in
think
pro football.
I think because I got this damn overlay, I think that's what it is, man. I don't know what the hell. Let's see here. What in the hell is going on? Let me see here. It's just all right. Let me see. Let me try now. See if it works. Let's see here. Okay. So the overlay was blocking it a little bit. All right. All right. Let's try this now.
Give me 18 inches of daylight. That's all I need.
Once in a generation or a lifetime, the great runner arrives in pro football. He is one of the select few who can fill stadiums Sunday after Sunday and whose number is burned into the memory of every fan.
Man, that was a tough dude right there, man. Look at all that mud. He was just running through guys in the mud. I mean, wow. So, yeah, anyway, let's go back to it. Let's see here. So, yeah, so yeah, as you can see, man, he was definitely a beast, man. Gail was a beast, but off the field, like I say, I gotta reiterate this. He was able to use his money that he made from the NFL and use his fame and his brand and make money outside of football. He was a millionaire businessman outside of football. Look him up, okay? Gail actually was a successful person outside of football, unlike a lot of people, unfortunately. Because it's only a select few that would even make it to be in the NFL. Okay. So all that aside, let's get into it. Let's me share my screen again. We're gonna break down these statistics. And we're gonna figure out what the hell the problem is. But we already know what the problem is. It's just what I just said. You take that same behavior that I just mentioned, as far as people, what they do outside of their personal life, or I mean outside of their work life, like what they do with their money, partying, celebrating, all that type of stuff, buying stuff that they, you know, buying liabilities versus assets. All that stuff plays a role. Okay. It just does. All right. So this report right here of what I'm mentioning is from the wealthx.com. It's a 2018 report. So this website or company WealthX, they break down data, wealth statistics. So they actually sell those wealth statistics to like maybe somebody that's a venture capitalist or an investment banker or a financial analyst or broker to get new clients or to figure out what is the dichotomy of the modern wealthy individual according to the latest data. So Wealthy X, they sell data. So they have a lot of it and it's a report. The report actually was from CNBC. Um, basically they took that report and they made an article about it. And here you go. So, of all of the wealthy individuals, according to 2018 statistics, um, 67% are self-made. Okay, self-made individuals, meaning they had little to no inheritance or no inheritance that catapulted them or helped them get to where they are today. They just literally, through daily working, working, grinding, getting their company off the ground, boom, bada bing, they, became wealthy. 67% of wealthy individuals are self-made. Okay. Now, this is where it started to get important, where it starts, people start feeling a little slight of hand or feeling a little stingy, right? Because this ain't made off of, oh, I feel I'm wealthy or I think I'm wealthy. No, you either wealthy or you're not. Okay, it's statistics. It's numerical values in your bank account or uh, assets, right? So it's like pretty much 24% of individuals' wealth was the result of inheritance and self-created wealth. It was a combination. It was a combination. So you got 24% of individuals that their wealth was the result of an inheritance, and they use that to create wealth. I mean, I'm gonna repeat it. 24% of individuals' wealth was the result of inheritance and the self-created wealth. So, guy, okay, for example, I'll use DJ Trump. His father, but not really. That's not really an example because his father was still alive. But his father actually, not only while he was still alive, he gave him $1 million. He took $1 million and then he invested it and made more money and more money. But I mean, that is like sort of an example, but not really. Actually, but people use their money from an inheritance and created wealth. 24% of individuals, that is how they became wealthy, right? So that is very, very, it's that you start to see where the drop off is. Okay. um it's literally it's inheritance is a big deal at this point. Okay, so moving along. Okay, 9% of individuals, their wealth just solely became the result of inheritance. Prime example, Wally's World. Okay, Walmart, the Waltons, uh, they're in this 9%. Their wealth came from their father, Sam Walton. Okay, they're wealthy by the result of inheritance. They're some of the richest families in America, the result of inheritance. Now, did they make right moves? Were they educated? Yes, they were educated. Did they run their father's business? Yes, they are still on the board of their dad's business of Walmart. They have say so in the running, the up and running of Walmart as today. They make decisions based off of some of their decisions, and I'm sure their daddy trained them well, and they also went to school and everything like that. But that's one example of many examples. 9% is a big figure, still. Okay, so yeah, 9% is basically, um they call them trust fund babies. Okay, so basically they made money off of their parents, or grandparents or aunt, uncle. They gave them some inheritance, and just that inheritance alone, their okay. So let me break down the actual terms or whatever. So basically, you got heirs and heiresses. Um, I, something close to it. Yeah, heiress. Yeah. So it's male and female. Okay. So I mean, basically, since people that just basically they whole thing, and I mean they might feel a little down about it, but they wealthy just because they grandma was wealthy, or they granddaddy was wealthy, and they they might have it where they get like a monthly stipend, like they might get like you know $1 million every year or something like that, or $150,000 a month, part of their inheritance. Another example of that is Michael Jackson's children. Michael Jackson's children are wealthy based off of inheritance. Okay, living a very good life. I mean, that's the way. I mean, it's supposed to. It's nothing bad. I don't find any fault with inheritance. Okay, I don't fault anybody that their their mother, father was wealthy, grandparents. Like some people are capitalistic shamers, and it's like I get it, I understand, but at the same time, it's like basically they made money they just did some things. It might even been some bogus things they did, but they made some money and they transferred that wealth over to their children. If they was really really bogus, in a lot of cases they don't get caught, but or they part of a whatever little group that they don't get caught and then all that type of stuff. But I mean, if they did some shady stuff, they gonna get caught. Okay, and or they gonna pay a fine or whatever the case may be. But these people, man, they made their money legitimately. They had that shit in brokerage accounts and all of that. And when they died, it transferred over to their children. Okay, so now moving along, like I said, now we got 24% of individuals, their wealth was a combination of wealth, self-created wealth, and inheritance. And then you got 9% of individuals that their wealth was solely the result of inheritance. So my stake is that you add that up, inheritance definitely does matter. So close to 34% of wealth creation has something to do with inheritance. Okay. Something to do with inheritance. Okay. To trace as a key component of their success. 34%. 34% is a big number. Okay, so you can just say 34% of wealth creation has something to do with inheritance. The fucking stats tell you that. It tells you that. It breaks this down. Excuse the F word because I had to put that on there because man, I mean, this is important right here. This is a big, big deal right here. I mean, this is a huge deal. Okay. Huge, huge deal. I mean, I just can't say it no more than that. It is a big, 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 big deal. So you got let me look at this for a second. You know, inheritance matters. Okay. That's what that I'm gonna get a shirt. That's gonna be one of my shirts. Inheritance matters. Okay. What you do now will affect your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, your great great grandchildren. It will. Like, I mean, basically, my mother, my and my aunts and uncles, my grandmother, um, my great grandmother, she died. Well, actually, my great great grandmother, she died and left the building and we lived in it. And then when we moved out of it and they sold it, my mother got a portion of that as an inheritance. Okay, everybody got a portion of that as an inheritance, but that's small, small money, right? But it depends on what you do with it. I mean, because many times I took $1,000, man, and I turned it over to about 3, 4, 5, 6,000. I mean, I know how to double my money, but everybody ain't businessmen or investors, But I mean, the point is that inheritance definitely does matter. A lot of times, and I'm gonna break down black wealth because it took me a long time to. It took me quite a while to actually get the stats on black wealth. I got the statistics on black wealth, but usually what happens? Somebody die in the black community, they if they lucky, they got a goddamn house that's paid for. Okay. But what they do, they sell grandma house. And do they come out better in the long run when they sell the house? When you hear these stories of people selling the house, you know what? A lot of times people they don't even like, I bet money that if you ask someone, all right, so if you do a survey, right? You do a survey. So okay, did you ever get like an inheritance from like your parents or whatever, or like in the form of a property? Okay. They say, yeah, I got it, right? Or yeah, I had to split it with my sisters or my siblings, right? Okay, how did that work out for you? Okay. How did that work out for you? Are you richer today than you were before you got the property, or is it the same difference? How did that actually work out for you? And I bet you they're gonna say, it might have worked out a little bit. Nah, it didn't really work out that well. Actually, I'm worse off or about the same. So it begs the question, why do you sell fucking mama's house, grandma house, auntie house? Why don't you just keep the damn house in the family in the first place? I mean, obviously, it's like some of you, people do not get like the trends and understand things, right? So it's like if you could keep the house, but a lot of times you can't keep the house because, uh, you know, your sister over here, your brother over here, your other sister over here, they ain't they ain't trying to keep the house. They want money. They want some money so they can go, you know, take their little husband on a vacation, which is that's so stupid. I go on a vacation for a week or a weekend, go buy a whole bunch of bullshit that you gonna put in the back of your closet that probably ain't gonna wear 4 years or 2 years from now, some shoes, and then you broke. You still broke, right? But you don't call yourself broke, right? You not broke. Nobody's broke. It's 70% of nation, U.S. People in the U.S. are have a negative net worth, but nobody's broke. But they always talk about my name and why I'm hard on myself and I call myself broke. But y'all niggas broke and a lot of other people broke and y'all don't claim it because you get in your mind you want to appear like you just this better person than that you what you are. But like I said, I'll say it again. I know you broke. You ain't got to tell me you broke. I already know you are because you talk broke. You are broke because I mean broke people do broke shit. Like I know broke people because I mean I understand it to a science. You just don't look at yourself like you broke. But like I said, people talk about like on YouTube and stuff like that. Like I'll meet you, I'll fight you, and all this type of stuff. My thing is, I challenge anybody to say that they ain't broke. Show me your personal capital account. Show me your mint account. Show me your credit report, and I'll prove to you that you broke. I'll prove it to you. You already will know you're broke because basically you won't even do that because you already know. So I mean, don't fault me for being the intelligent individual that basically that I am to actually look at not just my income but my assets over my liabilities as my barometer of how broke I am or not. Because like I say, I mean income wise, yeah, I mean I'm all right. I mean, I'm like, average or whatever my age group. But I don't look at that as no barometer of my being broke or not. I look at assets over liabilities. When you die and you owe money in your bank account, okay, if you got a negative bank account, your children ain't gonna get any money from your bank account. Okay, so, I mean, why look at your income as a barometer when you can lose your job tomorrow? You can lose your job anytime. All you got to do is go talk to your boss like you do your husband or your boyfriend or you know vice versa, girlfriend, wife, or somebody else that deem that is beneath you, and your job is gone just like that. But moving along, like I said, wealth definitely matters and inheritance also matters. So actually having something to give to your children before after you die, after you pass away is important. But people don't care. And I understand. I know people don't care. I understand the power of not caring. Trust me. Trust and believe I understand that. I understand the human's mind's ability to stop caring. Okay. I mean, people actually make money off of you not caring, right? So let's just go off of, because I just basically think that psychologically people just don't care, right? A lot of times people just don't care. And I understand that. That's a human like fault, right? It's a human problem or human condition. So the insurance companies, like for example in Illinois, they make money, they lobbied years ago to make it mandatory that you actually have to have car insurance, right? So when you don't care about having car insurance, you get pulled over by the police. You don't have car insurance. You know what they do in Illinois? They impound your car. They can do this, but they a lot of times they don't do that. But they give you a citation for whatever they stopped you for, a speeding ticket or something like that, and then they give you another juicy fat ticket for not having insurance. So then, okay, you go to the court. Okay, you go to court, right? And you have to show that you had insurance the date of being stopped by that police or prior. If you don't show that you had insurance the date before or prior, they will basically give you a fine for about $500. Okay, and then you have to show proof that you actually have insurance. Usually if the judge is nice, he's gonna be like, well, just come back and show proof of insurance. But he can or she can be like, you know what, I'll suspend your license for not having insurance. And then either way it goes, you now have to have SR22. It's called SR22 insurance. Got to have it for a period of 3 years or 4 years, or actually 5 years. Then if you don't pay insurance in any month or pay it in full, your license automatically gets suspended. Gestapo style. Automatically gets suspended. So second, you don't literally, like, if you don't pay your insurance, no matter what, they automatically report it that you didn't pay your insurance, and then boom. There you have it. Your license is automatically suspended. So it's industries that are made. Prison, private prison, public prison is made off of taxpayers. I mean, taxpayers' money is used. Okay, or private prisons, they make money off of parents not caring, off of people not caring. Like it's a whole industry. It's a whole industry. The health industry is based off of people not caring. So that's my that's my psychology for today. That's my social work training or education coming out. But anyway, yeah, inheritance definitely does matter. Okay, that 34 percentile of wealth creation, that is basically the 24% individuals that have the mix of uh inheritance and then self-created wealth, and then the 9% of individuals that solely have wealth off of their inheritance. Okay, so now this is where it's starting to get real sad. This is where it gets real sad. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna let you look at this. Let you look at this. I'll be right back. Yeah. So this is basically from the Atlantic.com. That's the website there. Um, I'll drop this in the chat here. So yeah, this is where it starts to get even darker. Okay, it starts to get kind of dark here. So Yeah. These little this article or whatever, it starts to kind of get a little bleak. So yeah. So it reads the differences that they found between black and white families were stark. Among college educated black families, about 13% get an inheritance. Is that quiet enough for you? Let me just play some crickets. Let me play some crickets for you. Yeah, let me play some crickets for you. So yeah, yep, yep. 13% black families get an inheritance, and it does it just gets sadder and sadder after. Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising because I've already on one. I think either my first or second Wealth Wednesday, I reported that black people collectively, on average, have a current wealth of $3,000. So this is not it's not surprising at all. I mean, they not only do 13%. It's like what are they actually getting? Like I said, I mean, over 10,000, just $10,000 or over $10,000. So it's not that much. Okay, it's something. I mean, like shout out to Master P. I mean, I think his father gave him like I don't know, like $1,000 or something like that, and he took it and made a whole bunch of albums, stuff sold them out his trunk, and the rest is history. But $10,000, man. Like over $10,000 and 13, and that's just 13%. So I'm not saying you should be like I'm not that Chinese communist ruler or whatever that was like basically, you should just get rid of your parents or whatever. But you gotta beg your parents or like I mean not look at your parents per se, but look at you got to self-examine yourself. I mean, and then also, yeah, your little like pretentious ass parents, like so yeah, so how's those late nights at the boat, man, been working out for you? Or how is those boat cruises every weekend, or I mean, well, twice a year working out for you? You know, or whatever goofy ass shit old people do with their money that they don't transfer wealth to their damn children when they pass on. You this is I mean the type of thing that probably would get a shoe thrown at you or a smack or a punch. Okay, because hurt dogs holler. You know, um, I have to admit, I mean, my inheritance, my parents already gave me before they passed on, but that's just my little emotional, like, buffer to say some goofy shit because really to be, I mean, my parents, God rest their soul, you know, it was little to no inheritance. I mean, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it was a lot of hardships going on before they passed away. Um, they lived a hard life, whereas not so much a hard life, but they worked. They showed up to work every day consistently, morning, every day to provide, food, clothing, shelter. I mean, they did their part, but um, I feel guilty because I wanted to get rich for them. I wanted to get wealthy for them, and I had my head stuck up my ass, and I was trying to figure things out. But this is it, man. This is statistics according to, I think it's like 2017, 2016, maybe. 13% of black people get an inheritance of more than $10,000, as opposed to 41% of white, college educated families. Okay. I want you to write that down if you can, or just write it down in your head and think about it. When you think about goofy and silly shit about, you know, how much pussy am I, getting, or um, you know, uh who am I sleeping with tonight, or I mean, what type of hair should I buy next week? Um, what type of car I should get, all that, goofy shit. I want you to think about this one. Like, what are you gonna give your children if you die today? What are you gonna give your children? What do they have? An EBT card? That's what you gonna give your children? You gonna give them what? A dildo and a pack of condoms? Yeah. So moving along, Taylor said in a release, announcing the new research. More specifically, white families that receive such an inheritance receive on average more than $150,000 from the previous generation. Whereas the figure is less than 40,000 for black families. Okay. So I mean, I understand that, because I mean we are, it's a unequitable, inheritance. It's a stolen inheritance, or stolen legacy, slavery, unpaid for reparations. Okay. I mean, 400 years slavery, 100 years of oppression, Jim Crow, police brutality. I mean, we went from Jim Crow to what, segregation, to police brutality era. Okay, you had the goofy ass lame CEO of Wells Fargo talking about, "Huh, I can't find any qualified black applicants," and embarrassed this goof ass on on all media out. I mean, well, social media primarily, because I mean, total embarrassment. I know he probably drinking a little scotch right tonight, a little vodka and coke tonight, to numb the embarrassment that he has to, basically deal with. And I mean, I don't know. We'll see what comes of, if he has to resign or not, you know, for actually actually saying that it's tons of qualified black applicants. Okay, applicants of all nationalities, but primarily black applicants. I know a lot of people, man. This article is actually breaking down like education. I know a lot of people, man, they got degrees, but they don't even work in the field that they got their degree in. They like work, they're a manager at Aldi's, but they got a bachelor's in, communications or something like that. because I mean it's just I ain't the one to say woe is me, it's unfair. I mean the thing about it is that yeah, it's unequitable. Um, I'm I'm ADOS and then also African. So I mean, I don't know how I what will I will my if I got reparations, will it offset, or do I have to go to the Europeans to get my reparations and then get it from the American whites and then it offset? I mean, do I have to? I mean, once you get reparations in America, are you gonna look at the Africans in Africa like we need reparations too? I mean, we need some land or something like that. They'll probably give you that. I would say they'll probably give you that more so than Americans or Europeans will give you any reparations. But yeah, the wrong was never done right. I mean, for example, even I know that people like Native Americans, they don't pay taxes. Okay, you could at least start with that. Hey, okay, you don't have to pay taxes. But at the end of the day, uh, karma is definitely a bitch, and karma is definitely is real, and it will come to a hold, come to a head where karma will rear its ugly head. But yeah, it's unequitable for various reasons. But even that being said, that doesn't give black people the excuse to go basically buy goods and services from these same people that don't want to hire you or don't want to give you any reparations um every night or whatever. Go hang out and buy all of this shit and then be broke and then don't transfer no wealth to your damn children. Still don't give you no goddamn excuse. And if I'm being blunt, you know dislike the video, you happy to do so, you could go eat it. I was just gonna say some shit, but I have to be blunt on this one. My sharp Virgo tongue has to be unleashed on this one, unfortunately. Okay. Now reading along, Machete and Taylor. I guess this is referring to this article. If you want to read it, I already put it in the chat. Machete and Taylor focus on inheritance more than 10,000 because they say these qualify as transformative assets, meaning they could significantly after the course alter the course of a life. Right. So this $40,000 that black families have gotten inheritance, um, it's a range. You could basically say that either got some of these people got bet- between the range of 10,000 and $40,000, which let's face it, I know people that have gotten that ain't do jack shit with their life. They ain't start no business. They ain't start no LLC. You know, they got money and they ain't do nothing with it. You know, I have to say that I have never been given. I think the most I've gotten is probably maybe like 1,000 or more, where from my mother, you know, and I had to pay a bill or something like that. I've never got no inheritance of no $10,000. Nobody has never given me nothing, no 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, none of that, But I know people that have and ain't do jack shit with it because it goes back to up here. It goes back to these people up here, the wealthy people, right? This is the top. I start from the top to the bottom. Okay, a lot of these people, they have also the wealth, but they also have the education. They have the understanding. They looked at their parents. They see what their parents did. And imagine if you saw what your parents did and they was wealthy, and you saw what they did wrong, you could do better than them. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the Waltons. Sam Walton, I mean, he's smiling in his grave with a heart on because his children is making more money than he ever did when he was alive. Okay, so I mean, it's like it's an educational gap. So you make the money, you go to work, but you don't teach your children about. You also have to teach them. You have to educate them on finances, on wealth, what wealth is, how to create wealth, how to navigate this and wealth market, this world of wealth. You gotta train them too, so they can take the 40,000 and they know what to do with. Have a plan. When you not just have a wheel or whatever, have a plan. Just be like, all right, I want y'all all for a court. If y'all want this money, the deal is, and you have your lawyer draw it up. The deal is you have to start some type of business that is needed in the black community, in order to get this money for my ass going to the upper room. And you have to be educated. You have to go get some school training. I ain't saying you got to go to college or nothing, but you got to get some training on how to start a business. And you actually, the part of the deal is you gonna get so much a month, and you actually have to have the business for at least 5 years. And the goal is to run it and make more money with this, and not just to get some money just because I died, all this type of stuff. And then you gotta do something different, man. But at least do something, because a lot of people ain't doing nothing. 13% get 10 between 10 and 40,000. So you got 100 people in a room. Okay, you in the club. When you go to the club tonight, cause you like fuck the broke genius. I'm doing me. I'm living life like like it's my last. When you go to the club, you count the room. I want you to count the room. 100 people in that club. Okay, about shoes 77 of them people in that club ain't, when they parents die, they ain't gonna have shit. In the words of Corey Holcomb, when they die, they ain't gonna have shit. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. They ain't got nothing coming for them. And then you know what? People already a lot of black people already know they ain't got nothing coming when their parents die. They love their parents to death, but they know they ain't got shit coming from their parents when they die. Not a goddamn thing. And they know it. But yeah, so as finishing this article, as Mark, if I got a little ignorant, this shit is ignorant. So I'm gonna just go with it. This some ignorant ass shit. If you got 13% of fucking people getting an inheritance when they die of 10,000, that's just 10,000 between 10,000 and 40,000. That's not a significant thing, man. I mean, you could barely start a business with this. Okay, you could barely like start a freaking um a newspaper stand with this amount of money. Okay, so when this ignorant, I just gotta be ignorant with it. Okay, because this is nigga shit. Okay, I mean, if you offended, okay, I mean, shit, stop doing nigga shit. And okay, as Mark Holzman, a policy analyst at Demos and Advocacy Group, tweeted earlier this week, after seeing Machete's and Taylor's study, the average family inheritance to a white college grad can pay off the average undergrad debt balance more than $30,000, and have enough left over for a 20% down payment on a 575,000 home, and that's assuming the inheritor has student debt to begin with. That head start on wealth provides lifelong momentum. Taylor told me in an interview. The median wealth held by black families with a college degree and student loans by the time the head of household is 65 years old, she said is about $61,000 versus roughly $422,000 for white families under the same circumstances. Getting a college degree can, in some cases, help close the income gap, meaning annual earnings, and as I have written, can do wonders for socioeconomic mobility. But the enduring legacy of slavery, that's why I mention it, uh, enduring legacy of slavery and centuries of de jure de facto segregation have led to a wealth gap that is practically insurmountable. Okay. As my colleague Tanashi Coates wrote in 2014, The Wealth Gap puts a number on something we feel but cannot say, that American prosperity was ill gotten and selective in its distribution. There have been proposals including systems of reparations such as baby bonds for black families that are scaled to family wealth to get kids started on an equal level. Yep, I mean, shout out to my great grandmother. I mean, okay, so my great grandmother, she bought a $50 bond, a $50 um federal savings bond for me when I was born. Okay. So when I turned about 16, I was either 15 or 16, I cashed it in. I got over $100 and some dollars. I cashed it in before I went on a vacation to go visit my aunt and my cousins. I had a fun summer. I had a fun summer because I had cash, you know, from my grandmother. Well, I mean, I didn't know anything about stocks or anything back then. I just didn't know. So don't be like, hey, blah blah blah. But that's what it would have took if I would have took that $100 and some dollars. Let's say, let's go back to let's go let's I gotta go to the stock market again. I gotta go to the stocks. Okay. So let's look at let's look at AutoZone. Or I could actually, you know what? Let's go to Home Depot. Let's say Home Depot, right? All right, let's put that in there. Actually, I just went to HomeDepot.com because I already was looking at Home Depot. Let's put it at Home Depot. If I was just, I would have had to be beyond a genius to actually do this move too, and then it would have been very. It wasn't easy to do um today. I mean, well, at during like 1995. So let's go Max, because Home Depot is a very old company. So right around, let's just say right around here, okay. I'd have took. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get that many shares, but $12.11. Um, let's see here. So that's the. So let's just say $100. I would have got about 10 shares, and then I'd have had to hold it for over 20 years. Good luck with that. And I'd have had 10, about, roughly 2,000 some dollars. But here's the thing. Okay, let's look at. I think Microsoft maybe showed, or you know what? But then Apple also came out of bankruptcy. Let's look at Apple stock. Let's look at this shit. Because I actually already tested this theory. I'm a Virgo, so I tested this theory. Okay, now we talking. Now we talking. Around the same time, Apple was at 20 cent. 20 cents. So now you got bang for your buck. So let me see here. Let's see here. No, that's not what I want. Standard. So basically, $100. So I'd have been able to at least get about 500 shares. And then I timed that by the current share price. Mm, that's how I could have made. That's how I could have not been a broke genius. And then, I mean, yeah, I would have had to. I don't know. They had went to bankruptcy, but this is how I could have. This is how I could have made my grandmother, like my great grandma. She was still alive when she get well. Yeah, she was still alive because actually I think it was 95 because she passed away when I was I think a year later. But yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know nothing, hardly anything about no doggone stocks and anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't. Okay, but a lot of these people up the top, right up here in this article, they do. But yeah, so I got the baby bond. You know, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, um, so yeah, reading further, those ideas seem to be on the right track. A college degree alone certainly can't make up the difference. So yeah, that's it, my friend. Um, that is it. That is the article. Like I say, it's on the Atlantic. The Atlantic.com. That's all I have for you guys. I'll let me see here. I'll put this link in the chat here. Let's see here. See if anybody let me stop sharing. And then I'll talk a little bit. I mean, this is a very important topic, so I'm going like marinate on it a little bit because it is very important. Uh, basically, yeah, it is this is kind of a combination of education for myself. I already kind of knew this. I knew this before I actually talked about this. I didn't know it verbatim as far as the actual statistics. I did not know that. Uh, but it kind of has me. It has me like these statistics actually matter because I'm thinking, I'm focused. Like when I wake up in the morning, okay, I know that basically what I'm working with as far as the wealth statistics, but the inherit now I have to add the inheritance statistics too. So it's like like I told a friend of mine, what I'm saying. I said because his mom gave him a $5,000 credit card. I said, man, we are not the same, dude. My mother didn't give me no $5,000 credit card. I ain't never got 5,000. I mean, I got a lot of money for my mother. You know what I'm saying? I feel, I helped her a lot too, but I mean, I think she's happy that my daughters, they look like her. She would have loved to see them. She used to even say, when you gonna have some babies for me or whatever. But the thing is that um, when it comes to inheritance, I have the inheritance actually to those statistics are going to matter to me because like I say, I mean, my friend, I said, I didn't have that, and that's small amounts of money. So if somebody come to me talking about I should do this and do that, and they got 50 and their parents gave them 50 racks or 500,000, I'm gonna look at them the same way. I'm gonna break them down like, dude, I mean, no, we are not the same. I don't have the same, I'm not cut from the same cloth you cut from, you know what I'm saying? So um, it's but it matters, man. It's a big deal, man. It is a big deal. Inheritance, wealth transfer is a huge deal. So um it's only a few that's gonna do it. It's always gonna be poor people. It's always gonna people that's gonna have problems and issues. But I mean, if you watching this, if you fortunate enough to watch this, you have the statistics now on your side. You want to, I'm gonna give solutions. I ain't gonna just talk about what you should do. But I mean, like I say, I'm not a financial expert. You should see a financial expert. You actually have wealth advisors. You know what I'm saying? You should see a wealth advisor if you are wealthy. Even if you planning on becoming wealthy, you should seek out a wealth advisor. But I mean, I could just give you as my personal opinion. Please don't take it as fact. What you should do, what you should already be doing. So I'm in. Back my last chapter of my book is on this very topic. That's why I'm very passionate about it as well. I was, thinking about a topic, and this came to mind immediately. But basically, what you should do is you should have a plan. You should have a financial plan. Okay, that financial plan don't got nothing to do with buying the latest shoe, the latest handbag. The financial plan is like basically a blueprint of what your goals are, what you want to do in life, and you want to have a dollar amount associated with that plan. So I'm gonna be finishing up writing my book, The Millionaire Saving Plan. And what I like about the Millionaire Savings Plan is basically, like I said before, it's a financial plan, it's a wealth plan. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's actually a bona fide combination of both of those. And you start off with $1,000 and you work your way up, to $1 million basically. Every goal, every step you achieve, milestone you achieve, you get a reward for yourself. And upon doing so, you actually, if you follow all of the steps, you will be a millionaire. By that time, you already have the things that you wanted in life for the most part. And then you just like once you're done with becoming a millionaire, you restart. So you start off not as $1,000, you start off at $10,000. Okay, so then you work from 10,000, then you 20,000, then 40,000, 80,000, and then by that time you get to the last step, it'll be like instead of having 1 million, you have $10 million. Okay, so um, the thing about it is you got to make up in your mind. Do you want to be wealthy? Do you want your children? So like my children, I feel like I already failed because they already had to taste whatever me and my ex-wife had to taste. But only thing I can count on is my grandchildren. My grandchildren can actually be that 9% or that 24% or whatever that they get an inheritance to pass on to them, and they can use that and with their education and become wealthy, and then transfer their wealth and just keep transferring it. So with that being said, I gotta focus and gear down to finish writing my book. So, I can actually have something to show you could buy and you can have a blueprint to follow. I already currently follow it and it's changed my life. I'm more richer or better off than I've ever been because I followed that millionaire savings plan. Okay, so you know it don't matter if you work at McDonald's, you work at freaking Starbucks, you deliver groceries for Instacart. That plan is still um can be followed no matter what your current financial situation. That's one thing I like about it. You do pay your debts off too if you got debts. You pay portion of it. All of the advice is in the book. I'm gonna be finishing it, wrapping it up. But yeah, this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very important. This is more important than pussy dick debate. More important than who's fucking who or who's cheating on who. This is the quintessential problem that everybody should be talking about, but they ain't talking about it. But that's fine. We talk about it here every Wednesday. Wealth Wednesdays. Friday will be Finance Fridays. I got to come up with the top topic for that. But anyway, let me get my bougie ass on up out of here.